The news story I just read truly horrified me. A lot of you know that in general I'm not a news sort of person. I prefer to do responses to planned materials rather than cover events. But this shit shocked me so much that I honestly couldn't hold myself back. Now, rather than reading from the news articles that alerted me to what happened, I decided to go direct to the source, Equality Stafford, who made the following public post on October the 4th. Quote, Equality Stafford community. This past week an incident occurred during a middle school lockdown drill in Stafford County. When the drill began, a particular class of children took shelter in the bathroom/locker room nearest them as they were in PE. One student was prevented from entering either the boys' or the girls' locker room while the teachers discussed where she should go. The student was forced to watch the adults charged with her care debate the safest place for other students to have her shelter. During this debate, she was instructed to sit in the gym with a teacher until the drill was complete, away from her peers and identified as different. After some additional debate, she was made to sit in the locker room hallway, by the door, away from her peers. This happened because the child, in addition to being a model student, also happens to be transgender. Let me be clear. During an event that prepares children to survive an attack by actual assailants, she was treated as if she was so much of a danger to peers that she was left exposed and vulnerable. These events occur across our country right now, but this one happened here. We need you. We need all of you to come out on October the 9th at 6:30 p.m. to the Stafford County School Board meeting at 31 Stafford Avenue. We need you to come and lend your voice to the growing cry. This is inappropriate. This cannot happen to one more child. Not one more in this county. Not ever again. Please bring yourselves, your friends, your colleagues, and your voice to this school board meeting. We need you. End quote. How do I even begin to respond to that? Well, first, I like to reach out to any trans student who may be watching to tell them that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the generation before you has failed in every way to uphold your basic civil and human rights. It's not fair of me or anyone else to place that burden on you through our failures. But please, keep holding on. We are fighting and we will win. Why? Because we are fighting to defend our very right to exist. That's something they can never take away from us. But I need you to be strong. It will get better, I promise. As for the response to the incident, it's grotesque in the context of what was being prepared for and what teachers were willing to put said child at risk of, and it's grotesque in what harm it likely has caused this student. Starting with the former, if you have a gunman in the school, then your immediate responsibility is to get said children to safety. It doesn't matter what shelter they get in, regardless of the child's gender. If your students are stripping down and changing during a school shooting, whether it be a drill or not, then you've clearly fucked up there. The fact that this is even linked to the bathroom controversy proves just how toxic a narrative it is. That even in situations where nobody is getting undressed, we still feel the need to police our children on the basis of their genitals. What the fuck happened to priorities? What the fuck happened to common sense? How is the presence of trans students a danger to anyone during a school shooting? I have to ask because that's what every student in that school has now been told through the teachers' actions. Which leads me on to the second front, the way that even though this was thankfully just a drill, the consequences for that trans student are potentially crippling. That child has been informed by adults that their existence is a threat, one that could forfeit their right to life. And I get that the school will likely plan for the next time something like this happens, but the message has already been sent and received by said child. Putting in new policy to ensure that this sort of thing never happens in future is the bare minimum that needs to take place to even begin to undo what can only be described as the psychological trauma this event has likely caused said child. They will remember this and it will follow them around, and every time some ignorant prick tells them that they're dangerous, they'll remember the time where they were treated as a danger to their peers by figures of authority. In this context, it doesn't matter whether the drill was for a shooting or tornado or anything else. What matters is how the student has likely been impacted. Now the post went on to add later that, quote, edited to add, "It is important to highlight that the child's PE teachers are not the bad guys. They are teachers without guidance in a country without guidance for these issues. They were following what they were told to do." End quote. Now, later one of the people running the pages added the following, quote, "It makes it easier to blame the people, labeling them bad guys. But then we miss the actual problem, systemic bias. I'm not saying that the teachers are blameless, but we should focus our rage on the system that must change, as well as the individuals. There was such momentum in these posts, I hope this continues to catch fire." End quote. Now I can get what they're trying to say, but I still have to disagree with said tone policing. There's more than enough anger to go around. The fact that these teachers who A, either knew that the drill was due and thus had time to plan for such a case, or B, didn't, in which case they genuinely risked a child's life through their lack of responsibility, couldn't make a simple judgment call, is fucking sick. Again, these were students entering changing rooms with responsible adults for security, not to change their clothes, and yet these excuses for staff faffed about. Why? Well, because they may offend Christian sensitivity. Well, here's the secret. Fuck Christian sensitivity. Your duty is to the lives of the children in your care, not the religiously motivated bigotry of parents. If you stood by whilst you had reason to believe that a parent was abusing their own child for religiously motivated reasons, you'd be out of the job, and rightfully so. And yet, here we have staff actively partaking in the abuse, in the torment of a child because of the whims of random strangers who hate them for simply having the audacity to exist. Do you not see the absolute disgrace in what I just stated there? That's all this bigotry comes down to. Parents using religion to abuse, to ostracize, to harm the children of other people. And it's the right defending this as religious liberty. It's sick, and it needs to end if we ever hope to become a species actually deserving of the title civilized. Trust me, there's absolutely nothing civilized in seeking to hurt the children of others simply because they exist. There's only a cruel hollowness we'd all do well to bury with every other atrocity humankind has inflicted in the past. Hi there, I'd just like to say a few things here at the end of the video before you go. First, I'd like to thank everyone who's ever donated to the channel via Patreon, giving a special thanks to the following people: Hannah Banghart, Matthew Kovac, Alexia Richardson, John Schoenrock, Alexander Williams, and Daniel Martinez. Your support has ensured this channel its ability to grow over the years and really is the only thing that manages to keep the channel afloat. I'd also like to ask that you comment down below and like this video, as well as subscribe and follow Essence of Thought on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Please also consider following Atheist Alliance International on Facebook, an organisation dedicated to helping atheists around the globe. Any comments utilising language which insults others on the basis of perceived gender, sexuality, ethnicity or ability, both mental and physical, will be removed immediately, and the commenter may be blocked on the moderator's discretion. Let's keep this space one which upholds the humanist values. Thank you.